Oh man, do we really got to do this now?
I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
Hey everyone, ZaiZoe here. Welcome to my channel. Just checking out ZaiZoe 2, and I thought I'd do a push guide now. People kind of want one, so I'm going to do one. I'm going to tell you right now, though, there is no magical um, system to pushing. You're not going to watch this guide and then all of a sudden, your struggles are all going to go away. A lot of this stuff you might know, but basically I'm just going to go over it. A lot of people might not know some of it, so here we go. My first attempt at this guide ended up being about 48 or 51 minutes long, so I'm going to try and narrow it down a little bit from that. Hopefully I can get it. We'll get into this. Here we go. Number one, don't talk. Now I'll explain. When I say don't talk, what I mean by that is when it's time to come on and you don't have a shield and it's time to do your session, don't be in global chatting it up. Don't be in clan chatting it up. Just hit next. That's what you're on for. You're on to find a raid. You're not on to chat. So when you start getting over 3600, you'll open up what's called cloud chat. Like basically right now this counts at 4200. So when you hit next, a little bar will pop up to the left. That will let you chat in global. That is when you start chatting. When you have cloud chat. Until then, when you're pushing, no chatting. You'll be surprised at how much time away from hitting next that can actually cause. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes here. Pretty soon you've used up an hour to 2 hours of your session time talking when you could have been hitting next. While you're talking, there goes that whale that you might have been looking for that you're now not going to get. So, like I say, when it's time to push, when it's time to do your session, don't talk. Just hit next. That's what you're there for. Number two is shield stacking. So shield stacking, here's where things get a little bit tricky. You're going to have to figure out what works best for your life as well for times on. Now that it's the summertime, of course, kids, you're going to be a little more, you're going to have a little more leeway to play kind of when you want. So that'll be better. But for the most part, clashing works later on in the afternoon or in the evening for people's lives. So that's kind of the times on that you want to be. You want to be on later on, and then you want to work that into your shields as well. And as you can see, you've got a 35-day shield, a 2-day shield, and you have a 1-week shield. Now the cooldowns on those, on the 1-day shield, on the 1-day shield, the cooldown time's 5 days. On your 10-day or 2-day, the cooldown's 10 days, and on the 1 week, the cooldown's 35 days. Now, I've seen people mess that up and think that it was a 35-day shield with a week cooldown and vice versa for the other ones. So don't confuse those. It is a 1-day shield, 2-day shield, and 1-week shield. Now, if you do them right, this is where it can really help you out. So basically, you're going to be on, we have 6 hours left. We're going to pretend we don't have a shield. We're going to go in. We're going to hit next for the next 4 to 6 hours, however long our session is. We're going to just hit next. And then at the end of that session, we're going to come in and we're going to put on our 1-day shield. Now, you can do 1-day or 2-day. I like doing 1-days before 2-days because you do the 1-day, then you wait 24 hours, you do another session, then you put on the 2-day, then you wait those 2 days and do a session. Now you've got 3 days off. You've only got another day session to wait, and your 1-day's back again. So I like putting the 1-day on first. But you stick the 1-day on, and then you can maybe do one raid. See, the trick is you want all of the times to link up, right? So all of your shield days will link up in times. You go in, you don't want to be raiding constantly while you're on that shield burning off that time. So you do your 1-day, you wait the 24 hours or 20 hours about, because if you started at 6 o'clock today, that's going to be midnight tonight. You're not going to start at midnight tomorrow. It's okay to pull your shield at about the same time, 6 o'clock in the evening, Same thing, and then after that session, you're going to put on the 2-day shield. Again, you might do 1 or 2 raids during the shield times, but that's it. Don't make that your new session that you're going to continuously find it while you're on those. Unless you're right there for some sort of record, don't do it. Just hold off, let the times go, let everything link up. So then again, you're going to go back in, you're going to do another session after your 2 days, then you're going to put a 1-week shield on. Now you got a week off. You're just going to chill, and these shield times are too. I mean, if you're popping on and off, those are the times you chat, talk, get along with people. But then you're going to do that week shield. At the end of that week shield, again, you're going to go back in, you're going to do another session, and then guess what? Now your time's back, your 1 day is back again. Great, so now you're going to do a session, like I said, after that 1 week. Then you're going to put your 1 day back on, you're going to wait again, then your 2 day will be back again after that 1 day, because it will have been 10 days cooldown. Doesn't matter how you do it. You can do the 2 day, 1 day, 1 week, 1 day, 2 day, or you can do the 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 1 day, 2 day. It really doesn't matter which way you go about it. It's going to link up. So you can do 1 day first or 2 day first. But that's very important, that when you're on and you're doing your times and you're doing your shields and you're doing your sessions, that you don't blow too many raids in between. Stacking them shields together is the real benefit there. You'll go 6, 7 sessions where you won't have to take a defense, and you can stretch them out over 13 days. So you can have a nice relaxing time, go on and just go about your business, not have to worry about things. Number 3, mental preparation. So now you kind of know what you're going to do with your shields. Now you know what you're going to do with your sessions. Before you get hitting that next, just mentally prepare yourself that at times it is going to be hell. You will have days that will be great and will leave you feeling on a wonderful high, and you will have other days that will have you so aggravated that you want to throw your phone and basically quit the game. Never rage quit, never rage drop. If you have to, take a couple days off. Even if you have to take a few defenses, I mean, that's not ideally what you want to do. You don't want to take multiple defenses without sessions in between. Every time you take a defense, you want to be doing a session before. But if you get to the point where you can't handle it anymore, you're going to just go nuts and drop. Just don't. Just take a day off, take 2 days off, have a break. That's also why when I was saying about your shields and your times and letting things go so that everything links up properly, it's also to give you that little bit of sanity so that you don't go insane, and give you that little bit of a personal life still so that you still have stuff to do, but yet, you have your clash time and you have your lifetime. So that's kind of why it's important. You're going to have to mentally prepare. You're going to lose a lot of trophies at times. You're going to drop troops by mistakes. You're going to lose raids. You're going to be a whale. You're going to find whales. So mentally prepare yourself. It's not that easy. There is some other stuff. I mean, you might have to completely change your lifestyle. Personally, I did myself. I was kind of more an in bed by 9, 10 o'clock at night kind of guy. And while I was pushing through the prime of it, I mean, I was up probably 21 hours a day. Between working, family, and clash, I maybe got 2-3 hours of sleep a day. Going to 2 o'clock in the morning, doing double sessions to reset your shield time so that things work back out again. So, like I said, you're going to have to mentally prepare yourself. It's on you. Number 4, Strats. Now, this one's going to be tricky because it's going to play into what Town Hall you are. Really, under Town Hall 7, can't push anymore. I mean, maybe you could go with all dragons. Maybe you could do a giant wizard. Try and 50% on Town Hall 8s that are set up sloppy in 7s. But it's just not quite the same. At Town Hall 7, I mean, pretty much you're going with all dragons. Level 2 dragons. Rage. Or you can go dragons and lightning. As I've been showing in a lot of my videos, guys are carrying the minions with them now. Town Hall 8s have been doing golems, Volks. They also got, the dragons as well, doing the same attacks as Town Hall 7s. Now, remember, you don't have to... I mean, the easiest things to do are to try and 50% pick off a base, or try and just get the Town Hall. Sometimes when you try and 3-star base, that's when you get into trouble. That's when things go sloppy, and that's when you end up 49%ing a raid. As opposed to if you just tried to have gotten that town hall, that 50%, or maybe gone for the town hall with the 50% afterwards. So with your strats, you're gonna have to pick and choose your bases. You're gonna have to them. When you start getting into town hall 9s, I mean, your strats are almost limitless to what troops you have as long as everything's maxed. So again, the most important thing about strats though is whatever you do pick, keep that one as the one you're going to use. If you start out in masters, and we'll just say that you're down in masters and you're using dragons and lightning, keep using dragons and lightning all the way through. Because eventually you're going to lose, you're going to have close calls, this and that. But what you're going to do is you're going to learn that strat and the mistakes of that strat, how to use that strat, and what to do with it. So if you're using a strat, if you find a strat, just go with that one. That's the one. But ideally, I mean, you're only going to have so many to pick from. Like I said, at Town Hall 7, you're going to probably go with all dragons. At Town Hall 8, I mean, you can go all dragons, golems, valks, wizards. So even they're hogging some a bit there at the Town Hall 8s. 9s, you get up there, you start 9s, 10s, and 11s. I mean, you don't really need to worry about what strat you're going to do, but whatever one you do pick, kind of stick with that. That's going to be the one that you know the best. So that's all the advice I got on strats. Number 5 is always be ready. Okay, so when I say always be ready, basically what I'm saying is that whenever you're in session, make sure your barracks are ready to go, that everything is set up. As you can see right now, I have this lined up for spells because I know that by the time 3 of these make, I'll still have that one left. So I got that set up. I got my darks are set up. I got 5. I had 8 in there, but I must have donated a few troops, so I've messed it up. So before you come in and do your raid, like you do like that, you set up, away you go. Now you start hitting next. Don't stop hitting next, because while you are hitting next, your troops are building again. So, basically right now, the second I go in and hit search, I have 2 golems made, I have 2 wizards made, I have a wall breaker made, I have an earthquake made, and a rage made. That's made the second I hit attack. That's ready. Now all the other troops start making. So don't be hitting stop when you're hitting next. That does more harm than it does good. You want to just kind of keep hitting next, keep hitting next. And when you're logging off, same thing. Fill all your barracks, fill your spells. Have everything ready so that the next day you come in, you never know when that whale's going to pop up. You might hit attack, bang. First base might pop up, might be really fast even, and it might be something that you're going to want to hit. Now, if you didn't have your barracks set up, now you're going to be waiting that extra time, or you're just going to end up having to gem stuff. So that's why I say don't stop hitting next. Always be ready. Always have things ready, because you never know when that whale is going to pop up. And like I said, you always want to keep hitting next. So the more ready that you are, the more times you get to hit next. The more times you hit next, the more bases you find. The more bases you find, the more trophies you get. Be ready. That's all I can say. Also, part of that being ready, set alarms if you have to. Don't mess around with your shield times and say, oh, I'll remember. Set an alarm. And I always like to do a little trick of the trade. Before you go into session, say we were on right now and we had 10 minutes remaining till it's time to go into session. I'm actually going to log out for, I always just 7 minutes, Savage 7 minutes. There's that 7-minute timer, so 7 minutes. I make sure that before I'm going to start my session, that I log out for that 7, so that I come into a nice, fresh, clean server and I'm ready to go. That's the trick for server people. You gotta wait that amount of time in order for the server to reset and put you in somewhere new. It's not languages, so stop asking what language people are in. Stop thinking it is that. That is simply a placebo effect, nothing to do with that. Number 6, and the right color green, I might say, gems. So, gems. Yeah, Do you need them? Not really. You don't really need them. All you need to do is just do a few attacks while you're on every day, get a little bit more than what your last defense was, and every day you'll slowly gain. However, as I explained to you, those shield strats, to do that shield strat actually where you do the 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 1 day, 2 day, I think it's about 750 gems, so it's actually not that many gems. And since the 35 day has, a month cooldown, you're only going to get to use that in the other shields you get to use every 10 2 days. So, I mean, it's really not that much money in shields per month. Maybe 15-20 bucks. If you're a kid, you can go mow a lawn, wintertime, shovel some driveways. I mean, wash a car. There's something you can do to get some allowance or something. Put a little card on there, get yourself some gems, and use that for shields. If you're ready, as I was explaining earlier, you don't have to worry about troops that much and gemming them as much, or spells. I, however, do gem my spell factory, and I gem my 2 dark barracks. Because when I come out of raids, that's what I'm always waiting on, will be either the spells or the vaults. So I find what I'm waiting on average for the raid, and that's what I decide that I'm going to gem it. So I really don't need to use that many gems on my troops or my spells, other than to just boost the time. But using gems on those shields is a huge benefit, as I said. I mean, that's where you can really pull ahead and get a couple hundred trophy gain from your last time. That's when you can push past your player bests. So, kind of up to you whether you want to run with gems or not. I definitely recommend it, but as I said, I mean, maybe not everybody can afford it. But as a kid, I remember doing odd jobs for stuff. So, the kids of today, you got no excuses. At number 7, my personal favorite, luck. So basically, you have to have some luck. Sometimes things go right, just like there. Sometimes you accidentally drop a troop on a base you stand no chance on, and things go wrong. And sometimes you misplan, and other things happen. And sometimes you try a new strat, like I was saying earlier, when you shouldn't be trying new strats, and you really fail on it. So you do have to play around. Like I said, just, mentally be ready. Just shrug some things off. Things happen. It's what happens. So it is what it is. Some days you'll have the greatest days. Like I say, you'll have 100 trophies, 200 trophies. You'll have amazing days. Other days you'll have the worst days. You'll have weeks of great defense. Then you'll have weeks of bad defense. You'll be pushing with other people that are in the same spot as you. As they fly past you, you'll seem to go backwards. It really is. There's a great deal of luck in there for finding the bases. That's why hitting next a lot helps. Defense luck, most important. What's going to happen to you is what's going to be on your defense. If you made a plus 30 session and you get a minus 59 in defense, there's really nothing you can do. That's where the shield strats come in handy to help on those. Push back past where you last were, get ahead again, take a break from the game. So, like I said, you're going to have some luck. I would invest in a good horseshoe and personally put it somewhere deep. So that is pretty much it. That's all I really could think of. A couple things did pop into my mind afterwards. People having trouble with losing connection. When you get clouds and you get cloud chat, you really shouldn't lose connection and not know it. As long as you're observant and aware, just watch global clan. That's why I chat in Norris, just because it's a faster chat. But watch global chat, watch clan chat, and if you see a 1 minute pop up between the last message, all of a sudden, put a dot on the screen and hit enter. And if the dot pops up, you're still connected. So that's the kind of why you'll see people doing the dot test, just to let you know, a lot of them are just checking connections. It might have been 1 minute on their screen since the last message popped up. Some of them just do it to poke eyeballs into the rooms, but some of us do actually have reasons for doing it. Like I said, otherwise, if you're under that 3600, you really have no way of knowing if you've lost connections in the clouds other than your own gut instinct. If you're hitting next on average about every 5 to 10 seconds, and all of a sudden a white screen is there for a minute, you might want to think for a second something's going on and just hit your home screen on your phone, end the game out, reload the game back up. It's better to do that than to have a disconnect right at the beginning of a session when you need it, and then all of a sudden, you get a minus 39 or a minus 59. Now you're 2 days behind from where you last were again. So, like I said, losing that connection, you're going to have to kind of watch. After 3600, you can use clan chat and global chat to keep an eye on that connection. Underneath that, however, you're just going to have to go with your gut on what on average has been happening throughout your raids. That one's on you. The other thing I had thought of before I go, times of days and weekends and holidays. Weekends and holidays, usually worse for cup raids, just because there's so many more people on. People don't have to work. People don't have to go to school. Holidays, same things. People are off from work. People are off from school. Summer vacation, same things. Times of days, you got to remember, people go to school. People have work. So often in the evening, there are more people on, more bases to find. That's also when more people are logging off is at night. So that's why I like night. You've got the major time spots to hit. You've got Indonesia, you've got United States, you've got the different places around the world that have the majority of the clashers, so their times kind of run what times a lot of bases start logging out, when you start seeing things. So it really is a lot to a push guide. I don't think I've narrowed this down much in timing. I haven't looked yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be long. Anyways, that is all I really have for now. Thank you all for sticking in there and waiting so long for the guide to come out. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Don't forget that subscribe, like, and share button. I'm out of here. Peace.